Guys, it's finally time. It's time for a review of Arsenic and Old Lace! Yay! I feel like this is long overdue because I love this movie. It's one of my favorites of any genre, any decade. It's a family classic, a family tradition, whatever you want to call it. If you grew up in this house, then you can attest to that. The story takes place on October 31st, which is why I'm reviewing it now, but honestly, I don't think of it as a Halloween movie. I think of it as an anytime movie. Matter of fact, the last time I watched it was at Christmas 2014, at a family party, of all things. Figures. Let's get down to specifics. Arsenic and Old Lace came out in 1944, was directed by Frank Capra, and follows Mortimer Brewster, played by Cary Grant, an outspoken anti-marriage drama critic who has just gotten married. He and his new bride Elaine, played by Priscilla Lane, run home to pack for their honeymoon and break the news to his maiden aunts. While there, Mortimer uncovers the disturbing truth that his aunts have been killing lonely old men and burying their bodies in the basement.
When the curtain goes up, the first thing you see is a dead body. The next thing...
To make matters worse, and how could they get worse, Mortimer's homicidal brother Jonathan, played by Raymond Massey, and his accomplice, Dr. Einstein, played by Peter Lorre, show up with devious plans and a body of their own to dispose of. This movie fits into so many categories. It's scary, there's romance, and above all, it's a comedy. A screwball comedy and a black comedy. I love the zany dark story, I love the gags, I love the actors, all of them. Seriously, everybody in this movie is awesome. Headlining, of course, is Cary Grant, a favorite of many. Personally, I enjoy him the most when he's being comedic because he's so good at it. His timing, his adept physical execution, the eccentricities he brings out in the role. He's great at being the regular, sane guy forced to the end of his tether by the antics of everyone else around him.
Insanity runs in my family. It practically gallops.
And this has got to be my favorite of all his movies. It's gotta be my favorite Peter Lorre performance, too. As a surgeon and Jonathan's henchman, he's done some awful, grotesque things, but there's something so adorable and vulnerable about him. I just want to hug him, and he does some wonderful things with this role.
That's wonderful, Johnny.
And the entire cast of supporting character actors is perfect, too. John Alexander as Teddy. Josephine Hull and Gina Dare as Aunt Abby and Aunt Martha, Edward Everett Norton, James Gleason, Jack Carson, all superb. This movie is based on a play, and I know that some play adaptations can feel stiff and stagey, but to me, this one doesn't. Yes, most of it takes place in one room, aside from the opening scenes and scenes in the cemetery, but they make that one room seem so spacious, with designated centers of action. The stairs, the phone, the front door, the table, the basement door, the door to the kitchen, and then, of course, the window seat.
You just look and see what's in that window seat.
No! No, Aunt Abby, don't.
If there's anything that could disappoint me about this movie, and there really isn't, it's that I've heard that in the play version they actually had Boris Karloff playing the role of Jonathan Brewster, who everyone comments looks like Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster, of course, because he's had one too many facial surgeries.
He said I looked like Boris Karloff.
This extra joke must have been hilarious, and it's too bad Karloff didn't do the film, especially because he would have been paired with Peter Lorre again, and I love them doing dark comedy together. See a little movie called The Boogeyman Will Get You. It's really fun. However, I still think Raymond Massey is great in the role. I never had any problem with him in it, and I can't see him in anything else without thinking of him as Jonathan first. So to my mind, he is the Jonathan Brewster. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop here. I know that I could rattle off my favorite lines, but I'd end up quoting half the script. I could show you clips of all my favorite gags, but it would probably be most of the movie, if not all, and I can't do that. So I'm just going to close here and keep it short and sweet by saying I love this movie, and if you've never seen it, I really think you should. Thanks for watching! Bye!